What it do, people? It's your boy Dre Day Everyday, back with another artist analysis video for you. And today, I'm gonna talk about my today active favorite rapper, and that's Freddie Gibbs. Just a little small context to that. There are rappers in my all-time top five that I previously mentioned, like Kendrick Lamar, Nas, and Lupe Fiasco, that are still active. But with them being in my all-time top five, they're kind of elevated away from the rest of the pot of rappers on my scale. So this is more like if we get into a discussion with about what's going on today, who you like. It's more of my current list because those are also, you could consider them commercial names and something like, oh well, what you listen to on the underground. So Freddie Gibbs is my guy. And basically, starting off, man, Freddie Gibbs first, he reminds me of, like, if you were to take Twister and 50 Cent and sprinkle in some Crazy Bone, he's like a mix of those three artists. And Freddie Gibbs is definitely like a direct descendant of 50 Cent's music and like the mentality and things of that nature. But Freddie Gibbs raps with the gang sentiment, repping Vice Lords and stuff like that. 50 Cent was kind of, he had G Unit, but when you listen to his material, he rapped more like he was by himself, just doing things on his own, stuff like that. Not to say Freddie Gibbs don't have his moments where he raps about doing stuff on his own, but he throws Vice Lord in his raps and stuff. Now, when it comes to Gibbs does a lot of stuff that, like, Gibbs is like, to me, it's just perfect. Like I said, three of my favorite rappers, all in my top 25 favorites. Gibbs is like the perfect mix of lyrical rap, street content, songwriting, and also Gibbs to me is the best beat selecting rapper ever. Like, Gibbs beats, just the beats that Gibbs picks, his shit slaps to me, you know. And he has worked with, what's that, two projects with Madlib, his work with Cardo, his work with I can't even get the name in all these producers, but it's just Freddie Gibbs. His beat selecting is just off the charts for me. And what I also like about him is that he has song. When we take these street rappers, he has songs where he raps about being vulnerable, having relationships that's not going his way and stuff like that. Like I said, I value that in when I'm listening to rap, because you have a lot of these guys that they can paint the picture of them being a rap, the biggest drug dealer, whatever, and it's like, oh, there's no human side to it. Deal with no you don't deal with no women, you don't have no shortcomings, or even if you are in the street, what are your losses? I like rappers that tell those stories. It feels more real to me because you're not doing all this. You're not super mega hardcore ultra gangster and not going to jail and not taking some kind of losses. So now with me, I started with Gibbs in 2015. I actually had a homeboy that was telling me about Gibbs, and I was listening. It's around the time Shadow of a Doubt was about to drop. Well, it was cooking, and the notable project out was Pinata. So I started listening. I listened to Pinata, and then I got this little EP called Pronto. It had 3 songs on it. That Pronto was the actual song, the joint that got me fully into Gibbs. I was listening to Pinata first, and at first I was listening to it. The sounds are weird. And it was like it wasn't quite winning me, but there were things that I did like about it. Like, dang, I do like this guy's rap, I like this guy's tone. But Pinata didn't get me. I started running Pronto back to back, and he really those three songs. It's like, damn, those songs are like really really hard. So I ended up going a few days listening to that project. Get tours whenever Shadow of a Doubt came out, that dropped. I started listening to that. Then I'm listening to all three of those projects. And then I just really started taking a liking to Gibbs like a lot. Then I went back, picked up Babyface Killer, picked up Shadow of a Doubt. What is that? My favorite project, The Tonight Show. I just started going back through all of this stuff. And I'm like, damn. And this is ultimately my favorite way to discover rappers. I don't like listening to rappers when they first come out. I like to come in after they have a nice little body of work. That way, if I like something, I'm not just swinging off this one project like, oh, I'm waiting for them to do something else. It's like, yeah. Plus, on top of that, a lot of rappers, when they first come out, they don't have their definitive sound. And I like for them to be able to, come out, get some projects out, get the influences off their style, and then, well, everybody's gonna have an influence, but some of the influences are so heavy that it sounds straight up like copying. So that's the period I'm talking about. So by the time I made it to Gibbs, he was already in his style. Like I said, his style is like a blend of those guys, but he does not sound like either one of them just individually. It's just like, if you're familiar with the lineages of music, you'll see where I'm coming from with that. And then coming into, let me see, 2015, 2016, I think that's around the time he got locked up. He got locked up. Like, it's crazy too when I think about it, because on Shadow of a Doubt 2015 got a song on it called Extradite. And shortly after that project dropped, he got locked up because some chick said that, his words, he said some chick dreamed that he raped her. They came and took him to jail and then extradited him to the part of the world where he had to go to jail. I'm like, the dude just had a song called Extradite. That was just kind of thrown. So I remember him being locked up, and I think he got out, was it 2017? Yeah, because 2016, it wasn't nothing. 2017, I think, when he got out, he put out You Only Live Twice. I wasn't the biggest fan of that. 2017, 2018, he came back with Freddie, and then he had the project with Currency called Fetty. And in this period of him going to jail, I think that he just really locked in on writing, because this dude was on another level from the way he was rapping on Shadow of a Doubt. And like I said, You Only Live Twice, it's got moments. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but listening to the Freddie project, and he got this song on the project with Currency called Fetty, that's called Willie Lloyd. And this is just kind of like definitive of like where I feel like he just went to another level on there, where he got the verse there. He starts off straight out the sewer like, that's a fix, which one of you fuck niggas want it next? In my dreams I see faces of death, I'ma pray for you, ho, get your rosary across your chest. Young Soprano can't fake me like that, I just shipped the whole damn piano up out the west. And I was like, this nigga said, Young Soprano can't fake me like Thanos. I just shipped the whole damn piano up out the west. Talking about moving keys. I was just like, this nigga's a serious fucking problem. Serious fucking problem. And also in the verse, he got this other line where he's like, some for the Motorola, Percy Miller with the baking soda, sip the shock of rock. I got some murder motors. Man, his flow he had to that song, man. He was just, it was almost like he was in another dimension with that shit. That nigga was killing that. Then we get to 2019, and then Bandana dropped, which was the second part to the Madlib produced projects. And that right there is just like, this dude here is lyrically sharp. And it's like, That I think 2019 was when I just said, yeah, this dude is my current favorite active rapper. It is just, yeah, it was 2019. That was when I was like, this dude is my current favorite active rapper. His stuff was just, it's ridiculous because like he just carries all of the sentiments that I love in a rap. He has the sing songy hooks. So another thing about Gibbs, you have a lot of rappers that try to do the melodies and things of that nature, but Freddie Gibbs legit takes his singing seriously. Like this dude be in the studio singing his shit with his chest, like or his diaphragm, as they say. He takes his shit seriously. He's not in the studio crooning like some of these. He'll have a few songs where he'll play, but majority of his songs, like matter of fact, Shadow of a Doubt is the best example of what I'm talking about when you listening to him and his actual singing. Freddie does some of it too, but that's like he's almost like a perfect blend of a. If it's a rapper that could go full R&B outside of like you want to look at Drake. If you want to look at another rapper, an underground rapper that could go full on R&B, that's Freddie Gibbs. Freddie Gibbs also does this thing that I don't know too many other rappers do, but he leaves his practice vocals in the beginning of the song. So like when the song's coming on, and then you hear the beat building up, like on Willie Lord, he's like, "I'ma dance on the devil's house. I'ma dance on the devil's house." You know what I'm saying? And then you sit up and it's not like it's not separately written like a bridge or nothing. It's like, oh, you get further into the verse and you'll hear the part that he was practicing. Then on what is the name of that song? On Forever in a Day. He was like, I done did a lot of bad things to get changed. I done took it to some levels that a lot of niggas won't go. I'm gonna make it even if it take forever in a day now. Bad things. He leaves all of that in the beginning. Almost like rappers who actually rap. They know about the whole practice routine before you go into your actual verses, whether it's a full verse, whether it's a song. When you first get to the studio, this is me speaking from, I used to rap myself, so I know this process. You get to the studio, and you don't want to just start recording off of your conversation voice or whatsoever. You want to get all the way into that mood. So you might just put on something, or you might record the same verse multiple times to get you there, and then after you in the mindset, that's when you go into your full on recording. Like, okay, now this is what I want to do. Now this is what I want to do. And for me, listening to that, it's like I think it's dope because it's almost like showing you the rough draft right before the perfection. And that's a unique thing. I think it's unique to him. I can't think of any other rapper that does that, leaves their practice vocals at the beginning, and it's a consistent thing throughout from project to projects. And a lot of my favorite songs of his do that. But yeah, man, Freddie Gibbs is he's definitely abrasive. So he's had his run-ins with probably probably some of your favorite rappers, like him and Benny the Butcher just had words, and then Uncle Murder put him in the what was that, the 2021 wrap up, and then the whole Jim Jones incident. That I mean, I don't. You have to show me the footage of whatever this is. I don't operate off that whole hearsay. We can sit up and say, "Oh, well, this happened." I don't care about that. But I'm here to talk about the music. But some people factor that in, like, oh, well, this rapper's always having this issue. That has nothing to do with the quality of the music. Now, like I said, there are some guys that you can view as clowns because of this. But my mentality, most of these niggas is clowns. So I don't look up to people. So coming from that perspective, everybody's a clown. But yeah, outside of that, man, I don't think Gibbs misses. Gibbs, let me see. I could say like my favorite Gibbs, my five favorite Gibbs projects. One, number one, absolutely is the Tonight Show. Number two, I have a list that I made on Facebook that I somewhat agree with and I don't agree with. Still, just from living with his music and it evolving in different projects, becoming more relevant to me. But where I'm at today, Tonight Show number one. Number two, the Straight Killer EP. Number three, Freddie. Number four is Bandana. Now this number five spot is like I could put Babyface Killer. I could put um, Pinata, and then I could also put the Cold Day in Hell project. And let me see, not Cold Day in Hell. I'm sorry, Shadow of a Doubt. So what I'm gonna do, that fifth spot, I'm finna cheat again. I'm gonna give it to Babyface Killer and Shadow of a Doubt. Cause honestly, it literally depends on the day which one I prefer more. Pinata, to me, Pinata would have been perfect if he would have did the first 12 songs and left the other 5 songs off of that project. I don't think the last 5 songs are a bad songs or whatsoever. To me it seems like after the 12th song, the mood of the project changes and it just doesn't match the initial 12 songs. If Pinata was 12 songs, that shit would absolutely be number one. I think that's another thing too. Freddie Gibbs is really good at the short format songs. That another thing that reminds me exactly of 50 Cent is that his songs are really cap out around at that 3 minute mark. Like you don't find many Freddie Gibbs songs that are like 4, 5, and 6 minutes long because he understands the whole ideology of you get on it and get off of it, and you would rather leave a person wanting more than have a song that plays too long. So yeah, 50, Gibbs has a lot of 50 Cent's tendencies, and that's possibly why I like it. But I think he picks beats better than 50 Cent. He has moments where his bar to bar work is better than 50 Cent, and then his his whole that whole sniping style that Chicago would call it, that rapping fast. Like his word articulation is just on point with whatever it is he's spitting. And he has that aggression that I appreciate. It's just it's not much that Freddie Gibbs does wrong to me when it comes to music. And yeah, I think to me he's the best. He's the best. I ain't gonna say the best. He's my favorite because we could pick this apart technically. There are rappers that do more things on a technical level, but my approach is more of a complete whole embodiment, what the whole artist embodies. It's the beat selecting, it's the songwriting, it's the lyrics, it's the subject matter, it's all of it. And I'm not just the I'm not just overly calibrated towards lyrics because it's like if that's the case, you should just listen to acapella shit. I'm still great. This is still music that we're listening to. So, but yeah, I'm excited about whatever this upcoming project is going to be. Been waiting on it since what was the last thing he put out? Pull this damn iPod out. I think the last project he put out was Bandana. No, I'm sorry. He put out Alfredo in 2020, and Alfredo is a solid project. And that's he got his he's not underground no more. I forgot he did sound like a major, but because his album was next to Nas, Tyler the Creator, I can't remember who else. But yes, because underground rappers, they're not gonna get that type of look. But Alfredo was pretty good. It's it's about yeah, it's not my personal favorite. Like I said, it's not in my top five. And I'm just I'm sorry, I'm brain farting right now. But I'm waiting on whatever this is he does next. You're seeing he's somebody's getting in the studio with like the top producers and stuff like that. I'm ready to see how that sounds. And yeah, just I want to see what level he goes to, um, what different sounds he plays with, and I don't know. Freddie Gibbs has a chip on his shoulder too. That's for me. My favorite rappers, they tend to have chips on their shoulders, and Freddie Gibbs still is excited about rapping, wants to rap. That's another thing I like to pay attention to. Some of the rappers that are putting out albums, they're not passionate about what they're doing. They might be collecting a check. It's like, nah, Freddie Gibbs is like, nah, nigga, I'm the top nigga on. I'm finna show you niggas that ain't nobody else fucking with me. So yeah, he's just carrying the torch of that whole what I value in rap and keeping those qualities alive and stuff like that. Like just like my other favorite rappers that are less active. But yeah, I'm not gonna drag this out too much further. But yeah, man, grab you some Freddie Gibbs if you like Gibbs too. When did you get on Gibbs? What's some of your favorite projects? What's some of your favorite songs and things of that nature? I really wish that I could get like a Freddie Gibbs and Twista song, Freddie Gibbs and 50 Cent song. There's so many of my favorite rappers that I would put together. Freddie Gibbs and Odyssey, that would be like a polar opposite type of that'll be like a polar opposite type of mix, but I think that they both got the style and they could get the subject matter. They could mirror off each other. Odyssey's coming with my artist analysis, but yeah, man, let me know in the comments what you think about Gibbs. Till my next video. Peace out.